What's up, everybody? This is Kenny Cummins here of Chilling with Kenny C right here on TLVcafe.com. This is a very unique interview, as you can tell. My guest is in the spirit, he's in the good spirit, and he loves to he does this thing. And this thing he loves to do is he loves to partay with the
You know it,
LAD
baby.
with the LAD vest, with the LAD mask on, Marshmello esque per se. If you don't know who Marshmello is, look him up. Very talented dude. That's not Marshmello, by the way. This man is Party Man Cam. He's with me
What's
right
up,
now.
baby?
How's it going, man?
Man, it's going good, man. Just sitting here chilling at the crib. Just hey, I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to be here.
So happy to have you here. So we first met about a month or two ago. It was at the Nice Guy Andy podcast.
Yes.
Superfly Johnny did his own show, and it's called Winky Dinky Bullshit. So, which caught me off guard, but we got it done. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to Andrew, to Johnny, to Sean, and to the whole cast of Nice Guy Andy podcast. Please check them out. They definitely help spread the word on musicians and wrestlers out here in Kentucky. The very cool cats.
And you'll
So
sometimes see me on there too. Check it out.
and Cam also makes appearances. Uh, he's bringing the party vibes. So you gotta get Cam up in there. I watch it every week. So but man, so I've gotten to know you. You've been wrestling here and there. You've been doing behind the scenes work as well.
Mhm.
So talk a little bit about how you got into wrestling. How did that start off for you, man?
All right. How to start off in wrestling was like I was at least 11 years old. And I didn't even know what wrestling was about because see, I was all up into this Michael Jackson music and everything because, I wanted to be an entertainer. And then one of my friends, his name is Tristan, and I grew up with him in the YMCA, and he's always like a brother to me, still a brother to me. And he showed me this game because I like fighting games. I'm like, oh, let me check this out. And so he's like, this is a thing called WWE. I believe it was Raw versus SmackDown. If you remember that game, Raw
Yeah.
versus SmackDown. And he's like, I'm like, what is this? He's like, it's wrestling. And I said, "Oh, okay." And the first person that ever stood out was the person who I idolized the most was the Undertaker, who actually stood out in the game for me. And so once then, he showed me videos, clips, and all this other stuff of Undertaker and a lot of like John Cena stuff, RVD, the Miz, everybody that's on there right now. And I'm like, oh, this looks like something I could really get into. And so over the years, I've been becoming a wrestling fan, always going to wrestling shows in Lexington when he used to come around a lot. And then I went to I believe it was probably I believe it was the beginning of 20 I think it was was it 2020? No. Yes, it was. It was the beginning of 2022 that I went to KPW down in Frankfurt at the American Legion, and that's where I met. Sorry, that's where I met Scott Diamond. That's where I met Nick Himes, the ring announcer, and I said, "Hey," I literally went up to Nick Himes. If you know Nick Himes, I literally went up to him and was like, "Hey, I want to get into this wrestling thing. How do I do this?" And he's like, "Man, just come visit us, and then we'll come on a training day. We'll get you a contract signed out." And so I signed a contract to KPW Omega. Omega show me the ropes. No good Jacob Ratliff, and also Adrian Alexander, the person of EWA, which y'all should very much check out too. And they trained me. They trained me how to do bumps, clotheslines, run the ropes, and everything. And then after they shut down, I went on to Tennessee and I wrestled for this company called RWA and Resolute, and that was about it. And then after that, I came back into Kentucky, and I kind of just chilled out with the wrestling because nothing was really going on. I couldn't figure out how to get in there. And I will admit, the first character I did when I was in Tennessee was Diego, and Diego was a character that was made up from this guy named Chris Hensley, and he was like a cocky Mexican, thinking he can get any girl he wants and all that sort of stuff. And just so like your typical rich man,
Yeah.
your typical rich man. And so after RWA shut down, I was like, hey, I'm not feeling Diego no more. And so I had my friend who went to the last Comic Con that was here in Lexington, and he asked Mark Henry what told him to show Mark Henry what I do, and Mark Henry was like, he gives up a little bit of Samoan vibe. So then I went to go do a Samoan character called Kai Maleko, who was a Samoan character that I did for a while. But then I'm like, you know what? I can't really. Samoans are hot, but I can't go off of based off of Umaga or Usos and all that sort of stuff. I don't want to be a rip off or copyrighted off of that. And so then I went back on the game of Raw versus SmackDown, and you know how the games always have you create a character. Yeah. It was like have you create your own character. That's when I'm like, holy crap, I forgot Party Man Cam. I forgot all about that character. And so when I first went to EWA, it was my first match there, and I was going against good old JR Rock, and I can't remember who the other guy was, but he was fantastic at it too. And that's when I did my thing.
Yeah, so Party Man Cam, good vibes, always partying, having a good time. Definitely looked like you got into some characters on early, get the feel for it, and then at some point you find a character that fits, that sticks with you, that's something that you could go with. I've gotten to see you wrestle at EWA for the last month or so. Obviously, Kentucky Elite Pro Wrestling. I've been to some of their shows in years past before they shut down, and I'm glad that Elite Wrestling Alliance has filled the void for Frankfurt Wrestling, and they got the next show coming up on October 7th. So go check that out on here, Education Center. So they got something good going there. It's very cool to see Adrian. Not only is he wrestling for different promotions, but he's also got his own promotion going, showing people that hey, Frankfurt, we still got something here. So just go check it out. You definitely will like what you see.
We got Adrian going against Tony Corral on October 7th. I believe it was a no disqualification match. I believe.
No DQ. Hardcore Havoc is the name of the show. Morgan may be there if she is quote unquote medically cleared.
Man, when I heard about Morgan, man, I'm like, what is this? What has happened right now? Why did Tony Corral do this to her?
Yeah.
All she was trying to do was join the group.
She wanted in. She asked nicely, politely, and he was like, nah. I mean, if you're gonna say no, at least be like, you gotta show me something. And she has. There was a match that happened, I think it was the Outlaws and RK Hangover. Morgan came up there, got into an argument with the Outlaws. I'm literally in front of them, seeing the argument taking place. She's trying to get their attention, and now things got personal. And Adrian, he was just cool being the booker, being the promoter, but now things got personal now. So now Hardcore Havoc, October 7th, it's gonna be on popping. So
oh man, I hope all the fans come out and see that, because it's gonna be a match to see. Because let me tell you something. I remember when Tony and Adrian used to roll around as a with each other in KPW.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would say they are the greatest. They were the greatest heels that I've ever seen. And then now you got these two going against each other. Man, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be hectic.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, you plan on going to that show. You know it's gonna be a hardcore match. You may want to keep the kids away from the front row.
Yeah,
'Cause
away from the
it's
barriers because you never
yeah,
know what's gonna happen.
yeah. So you never know. So I was at the Nice Guy Andy podcast with you, and you was talking about, you know, getting back to the swing of things, um, with Party Man Cam. And it looks like you being very active. You've been at EWA. You've been in New South. Um, you definitely contributing in some way, shape, or form. So, how's everything coming along with you, with Party Man Cam? How you feeling about this character moving forward? Like, what? How are you feeling overall these days?
Well, these days, right now, and I will admit, like I don't know if you saw my last live. Um, I did suffer a spinal condition that is keeping me out of action for a little bit. It's called spondylosis. It means one of my discs and my spine has moved, and so I got to get that repaired right now. But I would say with Party Man Cam is pretty much the greatest character I've ever done. Like being part of New South, being part of EWA, and then I went to Appalachian Mountain Wrestling, being part of that. It's amazing, you know, because see, when I was Diego, I was amateur. Like I didn't care about the training, I didn't care about all that sort of stuff. I was one of those people that like I want to get in the ring super fast. But then when I came back after I moved away for a while from Ohio, I'm like, you know what? It's time to get back into business. It's time to get serious. It's time to lay. It's time to cut down, lay low, do what these people tell me to do. And ever since then, I've gotten respect from a lot of people, from Nice Guy Andy, from Adrian, from people in the locker rooms. It's amazing, and I see this character going on for a very long time, a very long time.
Well, I'm glad that Party Man Cam has found that groove again, and that once you are fully healed from this injury, you'll be back up and running. But until then, you're still being active and still
Oh yeah,
finding ways to contribute for other promotions. So
always.
that's pretty cool, man. Um, man, so you was at the AEW Collision show with um Andrew and Johnny. You and we'll go ahead and get into that because you've been contributing to Nice Guy Any podcast for quite some time. So talk about what's it like hanging out with those fellas.
Man, we always bickering at each other. Me and Superfly always getting into it, man. The whole time we were over there, man. Superfly want to talk about how he has a bigger growing than I do, and then all this other stuff. And Andy I always got recorded. TA was there from Slap Mob. Man, it's something with them. With Nice Guy Andy, I love them. They my brothers, and they help me. They're they're pretty much the reason why Party Man also exists till this day because they help me find myself. Because if there's one thing I believe in, it's like when you lose yourself, because mental illness is real. It's a real thing, and with them, they help me find me. They help me find where I belong. But running with those guys, it's amazing. It's the greatest thing that could ever happen to me in my life. And even being on here with you, with you, the Kenning Cummings, right? Not like right now, it is amazing. It makes my day. It makes me smile when I see you doing your thing and they doing theirs, and then everybody doing what they love to do.
It does feel good to see podcasters in this scene, get noticed and seeing that we definitely trying to contribute to music to wrestling, and and Andrew and Johnny, they really good people. And being in that studio with you fellas, it was definitely one of the fun moments that I've had this year. Um, it was very entertaining, especially you and Johnny going at each other. And the only thing missing for me was popcorn to eat while y'all two was bickering at each other. That, that was that was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed it. So I'm glad that you um, found the love for wrestling again and getting back to the swing of things. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more Party Man Cam in the foreseeable future. And go check out Nice Guy Andy podcast. They do shows usually Wednesdays or Thursdays or both days. They have a variety of guests on there, and Cam makes appearance on there. Go check them out. Um, and from what Johnny reached out to me recently, he wants to return the favor. He wants to be on my show. So we'll definitely walk into that in the foreseeable future. So there he go with the LED, man. The LED.
Always gotta have it. When let me tell you something. It's about to be the weekend, Kenny, when everybody
Yeah.
gonna be out partying, and so am I.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. Staying true to get that character, just um embracing it. You are easily embracing it for sure. So I noticed the marshmallow helmet or the mask that she got.
Yeah.
So here's my question: where did you get those, man? Where did you get the
So
LED stuff?
so with this vest, I actually went on Amazon, like, because I wanted, because when I had my first match, I was just in like a jersey and shorts that matched up, like from Walmart or something like that. It was the summer, so. And then I went online and I'm like, let me find something for Party Man Cam. And I'm like, well, I like lights, I like fur stuff. And so I went on Amazon and I looked this up and then they had it. I'm like, oh, heck yeah, I'm going to start using this. And, sometimes what I'll wear is like, you've seen me before. I wear like, these glittered pants and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
And because back when I was Diego, that what they used to call me? Used to call me Diego, glitter pants, long name, whatever. Man, that's what they used to call me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me contribute that real quick. And with the Party Man, so long story short, well, a really funny story. So last EWA show, man, Party Man got punished real quick. Let me tell y'all new wrestlers, make sure y'all show up to training on time. So me and my friend were kind of late because he decided to mess around and go places. I'm like, dude, I gotta get to the show. And so he wanted to go to Spirit Halloween. And I'm like, you know what? I guess. But I remember we gotta get to the show. And so I'm looking around and I'm like, oh shoot, this actually lights up. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me just use this actually as a party gimmick also. Cause like like I said, I like LEDs, and y'all can already tell. I like LEDs. Look at this. I'm already looking at some LED pants on here earlier today. I'm already looking at it. Heck, I'm gonna be the life of the party, baby. But
So
it's just something that like I just kind of came up with. I'm always a creative guy. I'm always creating stuff in my head.
So, as a fellow Amazon customer and Prime subscriber, did you get that in 24 hours? Did it take a couple days to get shit sent to you?
Well, with the vest, it took like possibly like 1 or 2 days to get there.
Okay.
I remember because I was in Ohio with the woman that I had at the time, and went from there.
Gotcha. All right, man. So, Cam, let people know, man, where can people find you in social media?
Well, you can find me on social media on Instagram at, I believe it's C Jones 233 or 223, I believe. And you can definitely find me on Facebook at Party Man Cam. And let me tell you something, I'll always go live on there doing silly stuff. And let me tell you something, this weekend, if you guys are ever out in Lexington, you'll probably run into Captain Jack Sparrow, mate.
All right, man. Summer season is winding down, but Cam, he's gonna party regardless of the season, regardless of the weather. So right now, he's on the sidelines for the time being as a wrestler, but he is coming back. Um, so keep in touch with him. Check out the social media sites, especially on Facebook, because I always get the notifications that Party Man Cam do be live. So it's great chatting with you.
Great chatting
This
with you, my man.
and good. Keep up the good work. Wishing you a full recovery, and
Thank you.
I'll catch you down the road elsewhere.
Oh yeah,
Next
there's
week.
one more thing.
Yeah.
I was walking up the street earlier today, catching the bus real quick to go get something real quick. You know what I find? A trash can. A trash can that looked the same kind of trash can that Chris Crow beat me with.
Oh no.
And you know what? Maybe whenever I return, I want some payback.
Oh, yeah, I was there that night. Yeah, that was
I
rough.
was just doing my job, man.
Yeah.
I was just doing my job.
Quarles, he's been on the mean streak lately. Ever since things fell apart with him and Sean, he's not just beating people, he's trying to hurt people. Now he's hurting you, who wasn't even a wrestler that night. You were just working. So, you know, Crow, he's
Well,
somebody.
well, on here live, let me tell y'all something. Like, we also got October 1st, Rikishi coming to New South, the commissioner, and hopefully he can do something. He can help Party Man Cam redeem his, get Chris Crow, give Chris Crow what he wants. I mean, somebody. He just beat, I heard that he beat Roberto and Hippo.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. And he was bleeding too. So yeah, as you pointed out, New South taking a few weeks off. They'll be back October the 1st. Rikishi, the commissioner, the Hall of Famer, will be in the building for a meet and greet. And he's going to have some words towards Scott Diamond. Oh, by the way, with Team Presley's victory over Team Diamond, Presley will get 5 minutes with Scott, and I will be interviewing the boss man, Tony Presley, on this show next Thursday. I'll be chatting with him.
I'll make sure I don't miss that.
So we got plenty to talk about. Great chatting with you, Cam. You enjoy your night. Enjoy your weekend, brother.
Thank you, my brother.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
All right.